Hello everybody and welcome. It's time for the news. Today, the new patch of 1.7.0 came out along with the release of a new killer, Leatherface. So if you didn't know, Leatherface was released, which Hillbilly is heavily based off of. So they both hold the same weapons of maces and they both hold the same chainsaw. However, they both wield the weapon differently and use very similar add-ons. If you want to check out my first look on the Leatherface character known as the Cannibal, just check out my other video, link in the description down below. It should cover his perks, his add-ons, and everything glorious about him, but we're gonna focus on this patch and the wondrous notes to follow. So going right off the list today of what's new, they added the ping matches, so you'll notice these yellow, red, or green bars next to your name in a lobby. It will tell you what the ping is between you and the killer. It should help you detect whether there's lag without the need of make lobbies great again, which is also referred to as MLGA. Fancy acronym that was used for determining ping and blocking or loving certain players, so you knew who you were playing with in a sense. So that shouldn't be needed anymore with the ping thing added in. Additionally, there is a new map called the Grim Pantry at Backwater Swamp, and it's a good update from what I hear. I haven't been able to play it myself, and I don't have footage of it right now. However, you can go into Kill Your Friends and check it out. It is free for everybody. You do not need the Leatherface DLC for it. And finally, they added the Huntress headpiece for the Masquerade Fall event that had happened. Even though we failed, they gave us that much. It's pretty much just a darker, more brownish gray kind of mask instead of just the pure white. Now, the biggest change in this whole thing is the mechanics upgrade, the perk balances, and this is massive because this game has changed and I love it. Let's jump right into it. First, they changed this medium vault from 8.8 seconds to 1 second. So what a medium vault is when you are doing a sprinting vault through the window, however you don't make a full quick vault. This would be the slightly faster version than just pressing spacebar by itself or whatever action it is to go through that window. And what that does is essentially make it 2 seconds longer, which makes it a little more dangerous to go through windows. But not only that, they increased the speed of a killer going through a window from 2.6 to 1.5. Massive update, and now the killers have the ability to do some nifty plays on vaulting through a window. I've already done it a couple times myself, caught a few people off guard, but oh man, it is terrifying now, and I think killers are getting the buffs they absolutely deserve. Crouching speed has been increased to 1.1, and this is half of normal walking speed. If you combine this with the newly updated what's it called? Urban Evasion, which we'll discuss about in a second, you actually go as fast as walking speed, or if not faster. Other upgrades came in the form of medkits. The brown medkit can now fully heal you. It'll heal you 1 health state and run out of charges instead of barely getting to that little tip and then not finishing and breaking in your hand. The emergency medkit got additional charges, and Urban Evasion, as we spoke about earlier, got a change where it works anytime, injured, uninjured, anytime crouching, you get the speed boost, which is glorious, and they've doubled the speed. It's amazing. 100% crouch speed, you can pretty much go, I think it's about as fast as walking while crouched. It's beautiful. Now, the changes to self-care are pretty interesting because they removed the skill check increased difficulty from tier 1 and 2, which was a very needed nerf, and now it also has a much lesser item efficiency. So you used to add quite a bit of efficiency, which is typically added to skill checks when it comes to healing, and your healing speed is the same. So it's not a nerf to which makes this less viable, but it is a change to help make the skill checks a little harder to hit. So Slippery Meat's an interesting one. It's one I didn't expect to happen the way it did, but it's great. They essentially just removed what it used to do and slapped on a brand new effect. Now, instead of having increased speed on jumping off or getting out of a bear trap and a better chance, which wasn't a very good chance at all, you now have extra chances to jump off of the hook. At tier 3, you have 3 extra attempts to jump off the hook. Now, of course, this just means that your health will deplete faster, so the longer you wait while on the hook before you make your attempts, you're not just guaranteed 3, but essentially when you use it, your health bar won't deplete nearly as fast. Beautiful change, and then you get a 25% at tier 3 to break out of a bear trap. If you didn't know, bear traps are actually just a chance to jump out. If I'm not mistaken, it's 25% from what I'm told. Don't quote me on that, but that'll add another 25% on top of it. Borrowed Time got a decent it's a nerf. It is 5 seconds off of the amount of time you have to proc it. So when you pull someone off a hook, you only have 15 instead of 20 seconds to get that sucker hit and use it, or you lose it. And then the bleed out time has been cut. It's about 15 seconds off the top rank. It's a little rough on, you know, you won't be able to nearly run out and, you know, kite as long as you can, but it is still there to do the work of preventing camping, making that amazing escape, but not one that's just so overpowered and overwhelming that it kind of shuts out the killer. It's really good to keep in mind that these changes are all there to help the killer, because the killer has always been at a disadvantage in an asymmetrical game that should have the killer at the advantage. So this game is going to get scarier with all these buffs coming towards the killer. So this next change is not that big, but pretty much This Is Not Happening has changed the increased success zone size of the great skill check instead of the good skill check. Not happening is when you're injured, you used to just get a bigger skill check, but that didn't matter because skill checks are already huge. However, having greater skill checks that are just bigger instead of just the normal skill check makes it a little more worth it if you're having trouble hitting your skill checks that give you the bonus points that you would really want to work it out. And to be honest, it's a nice touch-up. This Is Not Happening might actually be a good perk now. We're Gonna Live Forever did take a bit of a hit. It not only gives half the bonus it used to help calm down all the blood point farmers out there, but still, I know you're all gonna go out there, you're gonna farm your friends. Just do me the favor and calm down. It's only worth half. It's only worth half. Enduring. This was an interesting one, but essentially they just buffed the lower tiers of Enduring. Highest tier of Enduring is just about the same. Now, Unnerving Presence. This was a unique kind of perk because I always felt it helped the survivors more than it should, but they increased the skill check success zone reduction massively. Unnerving Presence was listed as probably one of the worst perks in my opinion. In my top 5 list, I linked that in the description down below, but it's now gotten out of that. It is now worth running with Distressing. This Unnerving Presence actually makes the skill check 60% harder, which can be ridiculous when you're under pressure. Throw that on a doctor and let's see what happens. Lightborn, the best change they could have made, they just removed the penalty. There is no penalty to running Lightborn anymore. You are now just resistant to flat lights. It's the frickin' best. Brutal Strength, as much as everyone wants to say this is a nerf, this is just a change to keep Brutal Strength exactly where it's at. Essentially, because you break pallets faster and vault faster, they nerfed Brutal Strength in order to make you break pallets at the same speed as you did before the buff to your breaking of pallets. To which I don't even remember covering, so I must have missed it up at but you break pallets faster. Not a lot faster, but you break them faster. So, Brutal Strength still does what it does. It's just, at base, you break things faster. So, if you equip Brutal Strength, you'll break them just as fast as you always have. In total, it's just the value was changed so that it didn't break any faster because of a buff to something else. Agitation gets a terror radius increase while carrying someone. Could go with your Distressing, whatever combos you want to do. Not an amazing change, but one that isn't going to change my mind that I like Iron Grasp more than Agitation. That's just not going to happen. Overwhelming Presence, increase the item consumption rate up double. It's actually a much more scary perk, especially since they brought on Franklin's Demise. That perk from Leatherface is pretty good. Again, check out my Leatherface video, I'll go over that perk in there. But essentially, Overwhelming Presence, throw that with Franklin's Demise, item destroyer build. Make it happen, kids. Moving on to Distressing is now a terror radius is even bigger. Not that much, 2%, but still pretty big, and you get a massive boost of deviousness points. Massive. Massively beautiful. I'm running it on Hillbilly. Also, if you want to farm points with Doctor, throw that on with some of Leatherface's perks. You'll know what I mean. Get some delicious blood points. And then the map changes. They fixed a lot of pallet locations. I can't go through them. They did it in their stream on the dev stream last time, but essentially a couple of the safe pallets have been removed, and a couple of the infinites that would happen or locations that survivors could easily take advantage of have been removed. They've been fixing a lot, and they're still working on it. Oh my goodness, there's just absolutely so many bug fixes that went on. But let's go over this quickly. I haven't read this myself, but I am kind of aware of it, so let's do this. They fixed an issue that caused an unresponsive screen when spamming multiple specific buttons at once. I've never experienced that. Hopefully whoever has, it's fixed. Fixed an issue with David King's hair texture. Didn't know there was something wrong with it. Fixed an issue that caused the spark effects from damage generators not to appear for AMD cards. I don't have an AMD card. Fixed an issue that could cause selected customizations to reset when rebooting the game. I have that issue, and I'm really happy. I used to run a very special blade on the Nurse, a special weapon on Wraith, and a special weapon on Hillbilly. However, every game, if I didn't remember to replace it, I would lose that customization change. Fantastic update. Then they fixed an issue to cause the tooltips and the help and tutorials to become uncentered. Again, not aware of that, but I'm glad they're fixing all these things I don't even know about. Fixed an issue, the audio to become lower when opening the help tutorial. Okay. It caused the game to crash frequently when a non-host player uses the Huntress in a Kill Your Friends lobby. Ooh, never tested that myself. Fixed an issue allowed hatchets to pass through the hospital bed curtains in the treatment theater. I think that needs to come back. Please unfix that. Huntress in treatment theater is the worst. Fix it. Oh, man. Okay, you can fix the hatchets that pass through specific walls in treatment theater. I give that one to you, Dead by Daylight. I just have to. But the curtains are kind of hot when a hatchet goes right through a curtain. I didn't even know that. I wish I had tried that back in the time. There is absolutely too much to go through here, but I'm gonna try to cover the main ones because I'm starting to realize a lot of things there's just a lot of little fixes. So, essentially, they fixed a couple of glitches such as Hillbilly getting on top of the asylum. They fixed the glitch of using Dead Hard jumping off the house in Mother's Den to get onto a pile of rocks that were safe. They fixed an issue where there was no buff icon for a survivor with open-handed when it was active, caused sprint burst to activate while on the hook, caused the perk Deerstalker an object of obsession to reveal auras of the survivors that have escaped, which I have noticed once before. Nurse can no longer blink it down to the basement accidentally. You can still intentionally do it, but it used to be where you would just blink down and fall into the basement. They fixed it so they pretty much fixed Nurse blinks. Now, there was an issue apparently, and I didn't know this was an issue, but Tier 1 Michael Myers having Bloodlust was an issue. You're not supposed to get Bloodlust as Tier 1 Myers. They fixed that, took it out. And they fixed it so that the Shape, who used to be unable to kill survivors with his add-ons while they're performing gestures, such as his kill action on tombstones, they can now be killed. Fixed an issue where chainsaw blades stopped animating after the Hillbilly revved the chainsaw for an extended period of time. I didn't know that. That's also interesting. Fixed an issue where Killer's red stain affected survivors' hair. I didn't know that. God damn. They fixed a lot of things. Fixed an issue that caused inputs when window notification is displayed on screen also affect any background window or menu. No network connection error message. Just a whole bunch of things. They fixed an issue that caused very long or infinite loading screen when accepting an invite to a private lobby during a match countdown. Fixed an issue that caused unresponsive state when accepting an invite during the match loading. And adjusted loading screen tips that were cut off. So many updates. So much to be had, and Leatherface joins us today, this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for watching. So as a heads up, there are also 4 locked masks for Leatherface, which these 4 masks are the 4 original survivors' faces. Leatherface apparently can unlock these masks by doing actions that we don't know of. The hint is cook. So it's up to us to figure it out. Nobody currently, as of me recording this, knows. Hopefully Reddit finds out. Keep your eyes out for that Reddit. Might link that in the description down below. Also, if you don't know, I'm running a Patreon. I am getting massively demonetized thanks to the very scary effects that are Dead by Daylight. Even the the advertiser-friendly videos we did got demonetized. Unbelievably. Even my Patreon video announcement got demonetized. It's just a fantastic day for me. So if you want to support me, if you want to support the things I do, check it out. A $1 donation, anything you have helps out greatly. I'm doing my best to keep as many videos for you guys as possible. We also have a goal on there, and you'll get exclusive behind-the-scene outtake videos for even just simply donating $1 and being a part of the Patreon. And with that, thank you all for your time, and I want to hope you all had a great time. Don't forget to leave a like down below. Don't forget to comment your feelings on this patch and the release of Leatherface. And as always, good game.